Your words create your reality. I'll say that again. Your words create your reality. What comes out of your mouth comes into your life. My name is Tally, and we are here coaching with Tally, doing a series on abundance. So abundance mindset, increasing abundance in your life. We're in a series all week on this, and today we're talking about the power of your words. So I'm going to give you some practical, completely free tools that you can start playing with today that are going to give you the potential to step into and create a life that you love living. Because words are so powerful. I'm going to say one more time, your words are creating your reality. And this is true for all of us. What we say, what comes out of our mouth makes a powerful difference in what we step into and what we create and what we enjoy or don't enjoy in our life. So my name is Tally. I'm a life and personal development coach, and I have the honor and privilege of getting to work with incredible leaders to create lives of overflowing impact in the world that are centered for them in a place of joy. I'm all about getting you guys aligned to who you most truly are, get you firing on all cylinders. We look at life very holistically and really get you creating a life that you love living so you can be in overflow and have an incredible impact on the world. So this week, talking about abundance mindsets, and things that we can practically be doing, tools that we can integrate into our lives to create more abundance. So since our words become our world, paying attention to what it is that comes out of our mouth, the things that we say, it really, really matters. If you tell a child something enough times, they will begin to believe that, even if there's evidence to the contrary. Just what we say, what we speak over ourselves, over other people, over our world, it creates our reality. It's almost like an anchor. It's like it anchors into reality the things that you want. So when you get really practiced at saying things that you actually want to be creating in your life and not saying things that are creating something that you don't want, things begin to shift. So I'm gonna give you, so we live in a society really that has normalized complaining, negativity, victimhood. I'm gonna give you some examples. So I think often a lot of us will say things like, maybe not this exact thing, but things like, oh my gosh, I can never get ahead. Like, do we ever find ourselves saying things like that? Or, oh my gosh, I suck at saving money. You'll like make a mistake or not be keyed into something, or you're not doing things that are like getting you ahead, whatever, and you're just like, oh my gosh, I suck at saving money, or I suck at whatever it is, something around having the kind of life that you want or the abundance that you want to have. Or, oh my gosh, I don't have the time or the energy or the resources or the money to really do what I want to do, to really have the life I want to have. Do we find ourselves doing that? Just like inadvertently saying things that actually create a result that we don't want in our life, but we reinforce it. And then because our brain actually is wired to reinforce what it thinks that we believe, then you'll be like, oh, look at that. There's more evidence. See, I can't save money. Or see, I can never get ahead. Here's just one more thing that proves it. And then it becomes this cycle that we stay in. We say these things that create a reality, and then the reality reinforces our belief, and then we keep saying it, and we are stuck in these things that we don't actually want. So I'm going to give you a tool today that you can use that can help break this. So just becoming aware of it and having our thoughts begin to shift, and we're going to talk about thoughts on a whole different day, probably tomorrow. Talk about the thoughts that we have and how that really does steer us into what we want. But also our words. If we can just catch the things that are coming out of our mouth and be like, oh, that's not what I want to be creating in my life. And we just catch ourselves saying things that are putting us into a place of being the victim, or put us into a place of complaining. It's so easy, especially in certain environments. You know, that's just kind of like how we talk to each other. That's how we connect. That's how we interact. So complaining, negativity, victimhood, all of those things. Yes, stop yelling at me. Yeah, when you can stop yelling at yourself. Absolutely. So we have this strong inner critic. It wants to just like fire things on us, but it actually keeps us down. It keeps us small. It keeps us stuck in a place that we don't want to be in. So I just want to bring your awareness to that we do this, and see if you can start noticing when you say things either out loud or internally to yourself, like, oh my gosh, I can't, that feels like a complaint, that feels like it's going to have you stuck in this place of victim. And there's a whole lot of reasons why we do it. We'll get into that a different day. But we do this. We speak things over ourselves that create a reality that we don't want. And then it reinforces this pattern. So if we can catch ourselves saying it and then just being like, I'm actually, I take back what I just said. What that thing I just heard come out of my mouth, like, or even if it's a thought and you didn't say it verbally out loud, also good to start noticing these things that keep us stuck, that keep us small, that keep us in places that we actually don't want to be in, keep us from being free, that keep us from creating a life that we really do want. So when you hear yourself say it, you will start noticing, just from watching this video, you will start noticing like, that's what Tally was talking about. And then just like break the power of what you just said. Like, I actually take back what I just said and say something that is empowering. Say that the opposite of, like, so if you find yourself saying, I can never get ahead, be like, I'm not in alignment with that anymore. I break the power of that. And what I want to say instead is that I am always learning and growing, and I am finding ways to get ahead. I can create the life that I want to be living. I have resources, I can learn and grow. I am always growing, whatever, something that feels affirming, that feels powerful, that feels true, but that steers you into a life that you want to be living. So catch yourself as you're saying the things that are not supporting a life that you want to create. Like, break the power of it, because your words actually have so much power. It is like, energetically, your words have power. So whatever your religious background is, totally fine. I'm not here to like tell somebody what they need to believe, but I believe that we have been created in the image of a powerful God who spoke the world into existence with his words, that spoke reality of what we experience, and then we were created in that image. And so of course our words have power. Of course our words have power. And even if you don't believe that, if you just look at an energetic level, there's so much science and studies that are being done. I mean, interesting stuff. There are schools that are doing a lot of different schools that are doing a project around bullying, where they have two plants that are placed basically in the same environment, same sunlight and everything. They feed them, water them exactly the same. And the difference is that kids speak negative, like mean things to this one plant, and they speak kind, loving, affirming things to another plant. And the plants that have the loving affirmation messages always do better, which is so interesting. So they've been putting this project in a lot of different schools to show the power of your words, to show the power of not bullying, to show the power of kindness to each other. So it's an interesting experiment. I think it is powerful. If you just look at it energetically, it is very fascinating, the power of our words. And you'll notice it in yourself. If you start doing this, if you start shifting the way that you talk to yourself, catching that inner critic that wants to just fire on you, to be mean to you, to like keep you in line, and start shifting it to something that is affirming, that is actually helpful, that steers you into creating a life that you want to be living. Just notice the energy shift in yourself. So catch yourself saying it, stop yourself from saying it, and shift to something else. So that is one of the calls to action today. So that's one of your activations. And then another is to create a money mantra that is going to move you into more of what it is that you want to create. So I'm going to read you a quote. Words, and I don't know that I align 100% with this, but I align with the gist of this message. Words are singularly the most powerful force available to humanity. I think it's loud, but I think it flows through words. So that's the distinction I would make. We can choose to use this force constructively with words of encouragement, or destructively with words of despair. Words have the energy and the power, with the ability to help, to heal, to hinder, to hurt, to harm, to humiliate, and to humble. And that is by Yuda Berg. So powerful quote on just the power of our words, the significance of the words that we choose and the words that we speak, and how they are shaping a life that we live. So I want to encourage you to create a money mantra. So it could be something simple like, money just comes to me. Like, whenever I see a coin, I learned this from, who did I learn this from? I think it's called Money Mindsets. And I forget the guy who did that. It's a whole course, but I learned it through somebody else. But every time you see a coin on the ground, even if it's a penny, I pick it up and I say, I am a money magnet. Money just comes to me. And when money does come, I'm thankful for it. I really acknowledge, like, I am always taken care of. I am always provided for. I live in a state of abundance. So pick a mantra, pick a phrase that is a positive one associated for money for you, that you can get in alignment with, that you can be like a yes to in your heart, but that is positive and going to move you into more of that place. And then just notice the way that you speak to yourself. Notice the negative messages that come up, and then just shift it. Whether it's about money or about abundance or about anything in your life, if you're just like saying negative, hurtful, unkind, critical things to yourself, notice when those things come out, catch it, and shift it into something that's affirming. So kind of have two things there, but I couldn't not take advantage of the thing we were talking about around words that come out of our mouth and shifting that. And then also create a money mantra. So have fun with either or both of those. I think you're going to start really noticing the things that come out of your mouth, the words that come out of your mouth, and just start noticing what that creates versus breaking the power of that and shifting it into something positive. So blessings. We'll be back again tomorrow, probably talking about our thoughts and the power of thoughts. We'll see. I usually feel into it, but that's what I think we're going to talk about. So it'll definitely be on abundance and steering you guys into a more and more and more abundant life. Sending you lots of love. If you haven't heard it yet today, you are a gift to this world. You are a treasure. You are needed. You are wanted, and you are loved. Blessings.